Hey everybody and welcome to this video. I'm Inxlaura123 and this is going to be a story time video. So in this video I'm going to be telling you about the time that I made up a boyfriend. Yes, I had a pretend boyfriend and in this video I'm going to be telling you all about it. Now I will just add, this happened when I was very young, okay? I was a teenager at high school. It went like a few years ago, okay? But yeah, it was something that happened because I don't know, I just felt kind of left out. Like, it felt like all my friends in my class had either a boyfriend or a girlfriend or someone they were like really liking, and I just didn't. So I kind of felt left out. Now, looking back as an adult, I know I shouldn't have done it because it was just stupid. And also, I should have just been happy being like, do you know what? I'm not ready for like relationships. I'm too young now. I just want to concentrate on my schoolwork and my friends. But there we go, it happened, I did it, boom. So, yes, I made a boyfriend up because, as I say, everyone just seemed to have someone else. And I just felt kind of left out of conversations and stuff like that. So we'd like sit around at break time and I'd hear about this one's boyfriend, what they did, where they went, and I'd be like, oh, I don't know, I just felt really left out of conversations. And I am that kind of person that likes kind of being like involved in everything. Like if there's a conversation going down, I like to be involved with it and kind of chatting and stuff and voicing my opinion. And, it was kind of like I felt left out and I couldn't join in. And that really bothered me, like proper bugged me. So I thought, well, there's no one actually that I'm interested in, and no one was really interested in me at that age. So I kind of thought the best thing would be to make up a boyfriend because, I'm cool like that. So I made up a boyfriend and I called him Peter Bone, which is the most ridiculous name ever. Peter Bone. Not the Peter's fine, but the Bone. So where did I even think of that? I know, I'm going to make up a boyfriend. He's going to be called Peter Bone. Very bizarre. But anyway, so it was called Peter Bone. And the story was that basically my mum had these friends on a weekend. We'd sometimes visit them. They'd have a couple of kids who I'd kind of play with while my mum and, her friends were doing their thing. And so, yeah, that's where I kind of met him. He was supposed to have been, remember I made him up, he was supposed to have been a friend of these kids, okay? So he'd come round and we'd all kind of play together and we kind of started talking. He asked me to be his girlfriend and, yeah, so that was the kind of backstory that I had of it. And I remember going into school on the Monday and I was like, guess what, everyone? Guess what? I've got a boyfriend. And all my friends are like clapping and like literally it was like, yeah, she's got a boyfriend, Laura's got a boyfriend. And I just felt so happy. And because I like being the centre of attention, I was like, this is great. I love this. All the attention is on me. So yeah, everyone was like congratulating me and stuff and they wanted to know everything. Your friends want to know everything. Even people that weren't really close friends wanted to know everything about him. Where did you meet him? What's his name? What does he look like? And so, yeah, I just kind of was like making up these stories about him in my head. And I think it's quite lucky because I've got quite a creative personality. Like my mind is very creative. So for me, it's like creating a character and a story, And I think I lied so much about him that I actually believed it for a while, which is really creepy, but really true. So I'll be like, oh yeah, he's got brown hair and he's got brown eyes and he's really slim and he's really cute. And yeah, it was really embarrassing. But I actually believed it. And when I used to talk about him, I actually visualised what he would look like in my head, how he would sound, what he would do, what he'd like, what he'd act like as a person and all that sort of stuff. So, it's very easy for me to lie about Peter Bone because he'd become like a real character in my mind. So, yeah, as time would go on, I would lie, oh, me and Peter went to the park, me and Peter went to the cinema, I went around Peter's house, met all his family, and yeah, so the lies went on for quite a while until one of my friends had suggested that we do like a couple's day out on a Sunday, and she's like, oh, we should all go to the park and hang out, and we should all meet, at the same time with our partners and meet up, and I was like, oh God, I haven't really got a Peter Bone. There is no Peter Bone. I'm going to have that name in my head now for the rest of the day, Peter Bone. So I was like starting to panic. I was like, oh God, what can I do? And I remember coming in like a few days later after I thought about it saying, well, yeah, I can't really make it because we're doing something else. I'd forgot it was already planned. I'm so sorry, everyone. No one even thought that I was lying. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was obviously convincing because no one ever thought, or said it. Well, they never said anything anyway, but they seemed pretty, like, believable that I was just telling the truth. So I would get out of it. But then I just kind of felt bad. Like, I was sick of the lying and And I thought if that kind of thing was going to happen again, where they'd start like having couple meetups, I couldn't keep making excuses. Do you know what I mean? So I ended up thinking that the relationship had to end. So I didn't want to come clean that I'd been lying, because that made me look like a complete idiot. So I thought, the next best thing to end this lie is to have a pretend breakup. So I've had a pretend boyfriend and a pretend breakup. So that's what I did. And I was thinking, what should I do? Should I dump him? Should he have dumped me? What's going to happen? Should we both have agreed? And I thought the best way for me to do it is to gain a little bit of sympathy, because, as I say, drama queen, like the attention. He dumped me. So I went into school on the Monday and I was like, I can't believe it, everyone. Peter's dumped me. And I think I actually cried for real, because part of me was kind of like the relief of it. Like, it was kind of just over. I didn't have to lie anymore. So it was kind of a bit of me kind of acting and making it look believable. But the other part of me was genuinely like upset about it, and it all come to a head kind of thing. And all my friends kind of gathered round and gave me lots of cuddles. I think someone bought me like some sweets and a sausage roll at break time, because that's how they roll. But yeah, everyone was so lovely to me, and I kind of enjoyed the, sympathy and the personal attention. But it was a kind of way of just kind of drawing a line under it, closure. And they were like, oh, I don't get how he dumped you. You're so lovely. And I was like, I don't know. So Peter Bone was no more. He was gone. He was, see you later, Peter Bone. So that was that. And then obviously after that, I did actually start to get real kind of boyfriends at school. I never had like that many. I think I had like 2 or 3 possibly. I can't remember. I know I had one called Wayne. And unfortunately, he still lives very close to me and works very close to me as well. And when me and Nathan go to the shop, sometimes we walk past him, because he works nearby the shop that we go. And he knows who I am. I know who he is. And it's like, cringe. Like, he was just a bit strange. Like, not horrible, like, or anything, but just a bit strange. He was like a rocker. He was obsessed with, like, Guns N' Roses and stuff, and he had really long hair. To be fair, he doesn't really look any different now than when he was, like, 14. It's very bizarre. But, same like long hair and everything. But yeah, the funny thing that happened with me and Wayne, and why I'm so cringe whenever I see him, is that I was literally sick on him. So he was basically my first real kiss. Now, don't forget, like, I'd made Peter Bone up, so everyone thought we'd kissed. We'd French kissed, maybe he'd had a little grab as well. It's bad, really. I lied about that, but there we go. So everyone kind of assumed I'd had my first kiss. And when I got with this Wayne, you kind of talk about, what you've done with other people and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, yeah, I've done some stuff. I've kissed some boys, and I hadn't kissed anybody. I was a kissing virgin. Well, virgin full stop, but So when he went to kiss me, it was all right at first, like the lips touched and all that, until he poked his tongue in my mouth. And obviously I knew what French kissing was, but I'd never French kissed. And the feeling of it felt like a wet, slimy frog. That's the only way I can describe it, honestly. It was horrible. It was wet, it was slimy, there was spit, it was all over my mouth. And it made me physically gag, to a point where I did actually gag, and I was sick on him, which it's really bad. I remember it was right at the end of my road, and I was like, all over him, so it doesn't go down well. He actually dumped me after that, which is a weird thing. He didn't dump me because I was sick on him. He dumped me because I had a perm, and he said that my hair looked like a poodle. That's why he dumped me. So he didn't dump me for the fact that I was sick on him. He kept with me a little bit after that, but he dumped me because I had a perm. And he's like, I don't like your hair, it looks stupid. You look like, I had one of these corkscrew, really curly perms in the 80s. It was cool, trust me. Well, not when I had that, it was the 90s. But 80s and 90s, that kind of corkscrew perm was quite cool. My mum had, always had perms, so I had a perm. And anyway, so I had this curly hair, and he was like, no, I can't date someone who looks like a poodle. So he dumped me for that, but not the sicking on him, which is really weird. So that was that. And yeah, as I say, nowadays I have to see him when I'm walking along the street. It's very embarrassing. But I mean, sometimes he smiles and says hello, and I'm like, all right. Very awkward. Nathan knows the whole story, so he thinks it's hilarious that I cringe every time I have to walk past him. But yeah, there we go. So when I was at school, it was just kind of like, you know, I had Wayne as a boyfriend. I also dated this boy called Roy, who's now homeless on the street. I actually walked past him on the street in Southend, and he's just kind of laid out, which is really sad, actually, because, like, he was a bit of a naughty kid, but he wasn't a bad boy or anything, and it's quite sad that he's become homeless and stuff. He's always sitting there with a can of Stella and like, a box of cigarettes and that, but... yeah, so school days for me, relationship-wise, was not great. I had a few crushes at school that never really took on, you know, never really happened in any way. I remember I used to really like this boy called Max, what a random name, and I used to stalk him. I'm not going to lie to you, I was like, you know, very young. And when I say stalk him, it weren't like scary stalker. It was in the fact that I used to watch him eat his dinner at lunchtime. So I'd look through the window in the cafeteria and watch him. Just stare at him eating chips. It was very bizarre, but I loved watching him eating and chatting with his friends. And I think he used to feel someone watching him, because he'd kind of look up and like probably think someone's watching me, and I'd go, huh, and duck down. I used to do it with my friends. Yeah. I don't know why. It was so embarrassing. Why did I even do that? But yeah, nothing happened there, and we just become friends after that. I think he's married or something now, have a kid. Who else was there? There's another boy that I like called Colin. He was quite cute, but everyone liked Colin. You know, he was like the school heartthrob. You know, in our year, everyone liked him, so I had no chance of him. But yeah, looking back, should I have kind of made up a boyfriend? Probably not. You don't need a boyfriend to be happy. I should have just said I'm not ready for any of that, and just, you know. But I genuinely did feel like left out, and I just wanted to feel part of something and not be kind of left out conversations and stuff like that. But it's still very embarrassing. Whatever happened to Peter Bone? Nothing, because he's not real. Anyway, have you ever done anything like this? Have you ever made up a boyfriend, or would you ever, like, have you ever been at a party and someone sort of asked you if you're single, and you kind of feel sad and you go, no, I'm not single? Because I've actually done that before, like family things in the past, when like my cousins would have partners and I'd be like, yeah, I've got someone, yeah. Didn't really go much in detail like I did with Peter Bone, but I'd always kind of just be like, oh yeah, I'm with someone, yeah. Anyway, so I think we feel this kind of like we have to be in a relationship. We can't just be like, I'm single. I think things have changed now, though. I think it's become pretty accepted to and kind of chilled out about, you know, being single. Back in the day when I was younger, if you say you were single, people would kind of be like, hmm. But now I think it's more, you know, independence is a big thing, especially for women. We can be happy and content just being a single woman and doing our own thing, and not have to feel obliged to, you know, be in a relationship if we don't want to be. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when it comes to relationships, I am happy in this relationship with Nathan. He's my soulmate. But in other relationships in the past, I've not been happy and I haven't wanted to be in them. But I kind of maybe stayed in them relationships because I didn't want to be on my own. I was scared to be on my own, or unconfident that no one else would ever want me, kind of thing. I don't know. But this is the only relationship I've ever had, and I've had a lot, trust me, that I genuinely feel like completely happy, completely myself. I'm in love with Nathan. Nathan's the love of me for some strange reason, because I'm strange. But yeah, so this is the first time I've ever felt like really, truly happy in a relationship. And it kind of, I know this sounds really sickly, but he kind of completes me. Like, he's helped me find out who I really am. And, you know, I knew who I was anyway, but he's kind of brought that out and he's made me a better person. Yeah, he's actually changed my life a lot, Nathan. He's made me happier, and he's made me realise that, you know, yeah, I've got my quirky little ways, but I'm not a bad person. And he's just brought out a nicer side of me, you know. He's helped me to learn and to grow and just to change and just be a better person as well. So I'm getting all emotional now. But no, basically, that is the end of the video. I've rambled on. Tell me if you've ever made up a boyfriend or a girlfriend. And yeah, Peter Bone. Anyway, thank you for watching, everyone. Please click like, comment, subscribe, and all the links to my social media down below in the description box. I'm not going to lie to you, there is a confession I've got to make. I can't remember if I've shaved under my armpits. I know I should, because, you know, I just can't remember. Is there a little bit of stubble? There's a little bit. Not a lot. Anyway, I'm one of these people, I do have to shave. I know there are women who don't shave under their pits, and that's like up to them, whatever. But for me, I'm like, ooh, I have to be like hairless, and I just can't remember. things that I share with you, really. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Take care. Don't forget to also check out my other YouTube channel, Minxlaw123 ASMR. I make relaxation videos to help people with anxiety, insomnia, and also some people, when they watch the videos I make, they get tingles in their scalp. Tingle, tingle, tingle. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.